How y'all doing?
Yes, I am. Hello, hello.
We're gonna get started on this mess in a few minutes here. I need a cigar for this bullshit. I'm just telling y'all right now. We're gonna get started in about 2-3 minutes.
You need a cigar for everything.
I know I need a cigar for everything.
Yeah. Like, give me really easy.
But this bullshit right here. This I'm gonna tell y'all why, before we getting started. I was introduced to the man, well, no. Here comes somebody. It's all right, y'all hold on. We're gonna take care of this, gentleman. How you doing, brother?
Good, how you doing?
All right. We're getting ready to shoot a little live, but it's all right.
Oh,
This your first time visiting?
yeah, it's my first time.
Come on in. You come join us, sit with us.
Nah, I just came to grab a cigar.
What kind of cigars you like, bro?
I like Cohibas, I like Fuentes.
We got Cohiba Blue over there. We got some AJ Fuentes Sungrown and Chateau and the Maduro as well.
Okay. And I see you got some LFDs. You got any cabinet Kevin rooms?
Just the
Just the
double Ligero
Okay.
right now. We're growing the inventory.
Okay.
Just to let you know, we are live right now, but it's all right. You good. Take time. Trust me. We just started it.
You sure?
Yeah, we letting them get on anyway right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't do what you do.
Background with the sticks, you know. I told you somebody gonna walk in.
You did.
I said somebody gonna walk in as soon as we get started.
You did.
As soon as I press the live button.
I saw the sign. I said, let me come check them out.
Well, we're glad you came to check
Now-
out. Check us out.
Now we,
Grab Cohiba Blue.
I got now we'll be a BOYB lounge,
Okay.
so you can bring your own.
Oh, really?
Sit with us.
Okay.
We got stuff after you. We got a 1 stick house rule, and you can bring your own stick as well after about 1 stick.
And your own food.
And bring your own food. And then once you make that purchase, bro, we got a refrigerator with some stuff in it. Y'all just hold on for a minute. Y'all be all right. They ain't going nowhere. Oh, you been talking trash.
Okay.
What's your name?
It's Job White.
Yeah, wait. And so you saw a sign that's like, find out our place, huh? Place in
Okay, man.
Let people, yeah, come hang out.
Hey, everybody.
She's singing this week.
So,
That's Saturday.
Renz is selling some cigars. He'll be back in just a few minutes.
I'll be back in a minute.
In a minute?
15, 11, yeah, we're gonna be growing the inventory over the next couple
He'll
months.
be right with them, and then we will
I'll
discuss
say it right now. If you're ready.
this.
Okay. Ain't ready.
Right. It is what it is.
It is what it is. You get what we got.
My name is Wakila, if you guys have forgotten, and I am just sitting with my baby, and we're going to have a little discussion.
Appreciate you.
Like I told him, he's going to talk more than I do, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to see what he got to say about the situation, but I know he ain't that happy about it. And here he comes. Come on, sugar.
How y'all doing? Appreciate y'all waiting for a minute. Appreciate that. Yeah, gotta get the money now. Gotta get the money tight.
Absolutely.
Gotta get the money, keep the money right. So that little delay was long enough to let people get on him.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, now I can't say I know the man, the boy, Im-Polight, because he's got some ass light. And I'm gonna try not to cuss, y'all. Y'all know I don't cuss a lot. Talked to him once, long time ago, 4 or 5 years ago, 45 years ago when I first started getting down with Kevin. And but I knew enough back then not to get involved with him and a few other people. And so I didn't. You gotta trust your instincts. And that's why I didn't get involved with it. Yo, too much noise.
Okay.
So here we are now, about 3 years ago. Im-Polight, his stuff blew up. He ran around. Black women are God. Black women is God. The black woman is God. But they always say that money will show you the real person. So he starts making a little money, worth about 3 to 5 million. Moves out to LA. Start living that LA lifestyle. I don't have anything wrong with somebody being a polygamist as long as everybody's in agreement. Do your polygamy thing.
Yeah.
No problem whatsoever with that. If everybody's grown, hence the word grown, and they agree, fine, do it. No problem. Everybody's happy. Now, so what happens? So we're gonna go through the whole. We gotta get the information first, and this is one reason why I haven't said anything since it started going down here recently, because y'all, as y'all know, I'm going to go and get as much information as I need or I can, and I got enough information that I need to know about Im-Polight. And mind you, I'm calling him Im-Polight. Y'all know I don't do name calling, but when somebody does what this man, this boy, has done, you are you are an imposter. Po, because you're broke down. Light, you have no light. None whatsoever. You have zero light. And usually, if somebody's doing something positive in the community, but they have some imperfections, some things that may make you tense up a little bit, you know, I'll say, hey, I'll take your positive, but I can't rock with you because of those negatives, but I take your positive. We were just talking about a man who created Static Shock. I can take his positive as something that he designed to uplift black kids, but he married to a white woman, so he can never be a leader of the black community, but I can take his positives. Bill Cosby did a lot for the black community. I can take that, but I can't take his negatives, and I know he out on a technicality. But at least his technicality was with grown women. Grown women. Now, still, you don't drug nobody for nothing. You don't do that. But I can take his positives, and I can roll with that. But I can't rock with Bill Cosby no more. So Im-Polight, as it goes, and this is just based on the evidence, not hearsay. It's not. This is based on statements, his statements, the mother's statements, the daughter's statements. And you know, there's always, and some people may come on here, oh, there's two sides to the story, and there's somewhere in there's the truth. Yeah. Well, there's enough truth with the factual scientific evidence to show that he's impolite. And although we talking about impolite, this is really about the black man, black men in America, especially. A lot of you black men in America call yourself men. You say that you're woke. You say that you're down for the black community. But any so-called black man, and I'm going to go ahead and just say one name right off the bat. If you're down for this, if you support this agent, you are not a black man. You're white. You just go be a white man. Get you some skin cream, lighten it all up. Start, go and get you with a white one. So Sinetta, I only talked to you once in my life on an off conversation. And you backing this brother, saying that people talking crazy about him. In your conversation with him the other day, was that the other day or today?
I think it was or the day that it came out. So I think it was the day before yesterday.
Bro, you weak.
People are
weak. You have a wealth of knowledge. I can respect your knowledge. But as far as it being a leader in the black community, you just display that you are not it. You are weak in that department. I'll take your knowledge. I'll take some of the things you stand for. But to support this man, this boy, shows a weakness that we cannot afford to be displayed for the black man. And all these black women who are out there saying that most of these black men in America are weak and they're brainwashed by the European master society. Yeah, y'all right, sisters. And y'all right for being pissed. And y'all should be pissed. Because there's not enough black men standing up against this bullshit. There's not enough black men who are not trying to skirt the issue. Trying to keep their shit level.
Yeah.
So that they don't rock either side. I own a cigar lounge. I have a popcorn shop. YouTube is fun for me. So if I don't grow, if people want to come and say, fuck y'all. See, I said I wasn't going to get mad. God dog, it just pissed me off. And I'm tell you one reason it pissed me off because I got daughters. I got daughters. I got nieces. Even if I ain't had no nieces, I got daughters. I got nieces. I mean daughters. I got nieces. I got female cousins. I got a mother. I got a mother. So let me get y'all the factual before I get too irritated, because y'all know y'all don't all ever see me irritated, right? Got a customer about to walk in, so we gonna see how this go. Hold on. Oh, no, they just being nosy as hell.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think they just being nosy.
Yeah.
Keep on walking, but it's all right. We're gonna get that money later. So look at him. It's the way it worked. So as it went, and correct me if I'm wrong, because my baby know more about the situation than I do. Im-Polight and his crew, his entourage were traveling. They were going down. They went down to Miami, and Im-Polight has one of his wives, don't know which one, has a 14-year-old daughter.
It's actually his girlfriend's daughter. He has 4 wives and 2 girlfriends.
So his girlfriend's daughter.
Okay.
Girlfriend's daughter, they traveling with him. Now, from my understanding, this young lady does not let her daughter pretty much out of her sight, or the daughter is always in the company of other women who will make sure to watch out for this young lady. So they go down to Miami, check into the hotel. Now, mind you, they check into a hotel. Got to pay attention to the details. They check into a hotel. They go upstairs. Everybody's supposed to meet downstairs for dinner in the lobby of the hotel. Upon getting up there, the little girl, she's hungry. Im-Polight tells her, hey, she hungry. You want to take a shower, get dressed? We're going to go ahead and go downstairs and be in the lobby with everybody else. The mother agrees because she knows that there's a group of women that's going to watch over her daughter.
And they're just going down to the
Right,
lobby.
and they just go into the lobby.
Yeah.
I've been in a blended family situation. I understand there are levels of trust, but she's going down into a lobby with a bunch of people and other people that the little girl knows. And mind you, she's 14. These little girls don't have a grown person's mind. They have a little girl mind.
That's true.
They trust adults. They think adults are someone that they can trust. This is why we have a jacked up thing that goes on in our community, because little kids trust adults, not knowing how messed up some of these adults are.
That's right.
And I don't want to hear nothing about no generations of being traumatized and all that kind of shit. Once you pass 30, that shit's on you. Y'all done heard me say that plenty of times. Once you pass 30, it's on you to fix whatever trauma you got. And if you don't fix it, that's on you. So, they go downstairs. He gets the little girl downstairs, tell the little girl, oh shit, everybody must have left. They went to the after party, right? They went to the after party. And so we gonna go ahead and meet them at the after party. Now this little girl 14, she probably excited. Hell, if I was 14 and my mama told me that I'm getting ready to go to a club with her, I wouldn't have thought about the fact that I'm only 14. I'd been excited to go to the club. But the little girl also has an expectation that the rest of the group is gonna be at the club. And it must be okay with her mama, because this is a guy who's supposed to be a father figure in her life. So they go and they leave. Im-Polight takes her to a club that's closed. Because when this was happening, this was happening at midnight. Takes her to a club that's closed.
That was supposed to be having an after party.
Get to the closed club, then tells the little girl, we just gonna check into a hotel. You read the language. Gonna check into a hotel, right? Now the little girl, she's 14. She don't think about, oh, why are we going to another hotel? Hold on. What? I'm missing something, Larenzo. Where's the wife? Yeah, you have been on YouTube a long time. I got divorced in February. Got separated back in November, but it's cool. I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. It's kind of messed up to ask that question while I'm sitting here with another young lady.
It's okay.
It's kind of a messed up thing to do. That should be something you ask me on the side. But I'll let that ride though. But that's kind of messed up. That's kind of disrespectful. No, fuck it. That's kind of disrespectful. You might get mad at me, but I would never do that to another man. You know, I don't care how long it's been. That's messed up. So I apologize for that. That's messed up. That's messed up. But anyway, so he takes the little girl to a hotel, right? and proceeds to give the little girl a drink, sweet drink. Now, at first, I thought he was giving the little girl alcohol. But no, but even if he was giving her alcohol, she's still 14. My grandparents and my mom, them, they let me have a sip of beer when I was a kid. Actually, they told me I used to have beer in my bottle. You know?
Beer in your bottle?
I know. My family tell you about it. They'll pick on me about
See,
it.
that was going on with you now.
But she's 14. I'm not expecting her to make grown folks' decisions. But no, he didn't give her alcohol.
Mm-mm.
He put drugs in her. He put drugs in the drink.
4 different kinds.
4 different kinds of drugs in a little girl drink. Little girl drinks the drink. She's going in and out of consciousness. And this is why he Po-light. Po-ass light. Right? He then decides he's going to take his pants down after dancing in front of the little girl, and while she unconscious or semi-conscious, begins to perform oral sex on the girl. No, he makes the girl perform oral sex on him.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if she's going in and out of consciousness, that means he's grabbing her, handling her roughly. Now, in one of the police statements, it did say that before that, when he was dancing, he was grabbing on her ass and grabbing on her thighs and doing all this kind of stuff to this 14-year-old little girl. Right?
That he now has in an entirely different hotel room.
Right. In a whole nother hotel room. Right? Whole nother hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
So he forces the girl to perform fellatio on him. But then she's unconscious. He gets scared. If she died, if I gotta rush her to the hospital, they gonna know that I'm up here being a damn pedophile. I'm being a pedophile. As one lady called him Pedialyte. What's her name? I want to get a credit to the person who said it.
Tasha K.
Tasha K.
Tasha K.
Called him Pedialyte. So now he making this girl perform that. The girl's unconscious. So the little girl says that she wakes up. She comes to consciousness, and he got his fingers down her throat trying to make her throw up. Why? Because if he got to take her to the hospital, if she dies, he know his shit is through. He's done.
So we need her to throw up those drugs.
She need to throw up them drugs so he can just take her back to her mom and be like, she's sick. So the mother is like, where the hell are y'all at? Bring my daughter back. She bring the daughter back. He brings the daughter back. Now, I got to tell y'all all this stuff, because don't get up here talking about the mother is at fault. The mother thought that a responsible adult was taking his daughter down into a group of people in a lobby of the hotel. She had no idea about this club, this after party, no idea about a hotel, none of that stuff. And trust me, these people who plan and plan and plan, because this shit had to be planned, right?
Yeah.
She didn't have an idea of this, but she played it smart. She played it smart, because some people were mad because she didn't call the police immediately. He brings her back. She sees that her daughter's mouth is swollen, that something's wrong with her. She's intoxicated. She looks intoxicated, but she was drugged up. And in the report, it says that Polight convinced her, Im-Polight, convinced the mother not to call the police immediately because it'll mess up his career. It'll lose this money. You see, there's a lot of weak-ass women out there who will prostitute their children in order to please a man that's giving them some penis and some money.
Yeah.
But this lady was smart. She's a woman. Only the weaker sex by physicality, not mentally, because she outsmarted him. Didn't call the police. But immediately after she got herself in a situation, because think about it, if I ain't putting myself in that situation because I just can't even imagine. Yeah. But if a physical man is in front of a 14-year-old and the mother, and the mother goes like, "No, I'm calling the police," and go grab the phone, he can beat the shit out of her, okay? And there's no reason for her to take that ass whooping because she got to protect her daughter now. So what she does is she's like, "All right, bet, I'm not calling the police." Oh, he relaxed. She immediately takes that little girl, takes her daughter to the hospital, get a specific hospital for rape, gets the rape kit done. Now here is where I have enough, everything else It's his story, her story. But here's the facts that don't matter. Once they do the DNA case, doing the DNA kit, the rape kit, and this was back in February, y'all. Back in February, do the rape kit. The results came back in June. Yeah. The results came back in June. His DNA. Well, no, the first report came back in March. Then in March, they forced him to do. Then that's when she made the complaint. Well, she made the complaint in then March. The complaint was made in March. They forced him to do a DNA kit himself, and it came back as a positive result that his DNA, his sperm. Let me be specific.
There we go. Yes,
because
sir.
I can do like this. I can. And my DNA will be on her.
Exactly.
But his sperm DNA came back on the little girl's shirt and mouth. What other evidence do you need, Sinetta? What other evidence do you need? Any black man that call himself a leader in the black community, in the black conscious community especially, where the fuck is the consciousness? Because you have none. You have no light. Your third eye is shut tight. If you need more than DNA evidence of a grown-ass man's sperm on a girl's shirt in her mouth. If you just the fact that a grown man took a 14-year-old girl to what's supposed to be an after party, took a 14-year-old girl to a hotel, that in itself is enough. That in itself is enough. I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else. That shows that you ain't conscious. What the hell? What in the living hell is that?
But the black woman is God.
And the black woman is God. This man is telling black women, you're God.
That's how you treat God.
A God is somebody that you uphold. A God is somebody that you put on a pedestal.
That's right.
A God is somebody you give reverence and respect to. When I call her my goddess, it's because I have to follow that with the actions of respect and reverence. If I don't do that, I'm a piece of shit liar. Or she ain't my God. She ain't God in my eyes. She just some piece of meat. Which if you look at his little videos, he treats his women like they're a piece of meat. Yeah. Now I ain't saying a woman can't dress sexy. Dress sexy. But the way he presents them. See, your woman can be sexy. Can be dressed sexy. She can have a short skirt on. She can have a little dress on. Whatever. But the presentation of that is what makes the difference. You can take a dress that's on a stripper, a dress that's on a streetwalker, and put that on another lady, but how it's presented makes all the difference in the world. He presented them as if they were nothing but video vixens. Yeah. That's how he presented his wives and girlfriends.
His wives.
Like video vixen. Because he got a little money now. Mm-hmm. He got a little money.
Because before he wasn't doing that. They were all a little natural and stuff. They had their little afros and yeah.
But now he can do that.
He got some money.
Got a little money.
And went across the country.
I love when people get money because it shows who they really are.
All right.
It shows who they really are. It shows who they really are.
Money does not change you.
So before people start walking in here, let's get into this. Let's get deeper. Let's get it done. Yeah. Because we about to get into the nightlife in here. They got the DNA, man. Your sperm is on this little girl. And then you're going to come out acting like your legal team, your little lawyer is going to get you off that the truth is out there. Your sperm is on the little girl. You took a little girl to a hotel.
And in his response, he said he's not going to worry about it. I like the attention.
And you know why he ain't going to worry about it?
That's what he's saying. He likes the attention.
It's enough dumbass, weak men out there who going to keep following him. It's enough dumbass, weak women out there who going to keep following him.
That's right.
And young Pharaoh, even though he got some little messed up stuff, but that's more of an honorable thing. He ain't messing around with no little kids. He posted a video where he was talking to his second wife, the woman that became his second wife. He started boning her when she was 16 years old. 16. The man has already demonstrated that he was a pedophile early on. He was his second wife, 16. I don't give a damn how good a 16-year-old looks. She's 16. So there's no surprise to me. The biggest surprise to me is how many, and some people going to be like, oh, you tearing down another black man who's a leader in the community, got a little money or whatever. Fuck him. He is not a leader in this community. And y'all got to stop making these men who are not qualified into leaders of this community. Because they're not. A real leader of this community, I'm not saying that he's going to be perfect. Because I'm not perfect. I'll never be perfect.
You have to say,
But what I am saying is that you will never find me in some kind of bullshit like that. Never.
do you have to say the word bony when it comes to a little girl he violated?
Bony.
Did you say bony?
I don't think I said bony.
Maybe she put the wrong word in.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, no. I want. Yeah, try that again, darling.
Yeah, no. He just but you are absolutely correct. He
He
violated this
violated
little
her.
girl.
Yeah,
He violated this
he
little
said
girl.
that from the jump.
There's absolutely no excuse for a grown. And here's the thing, guys, that cracked me up, that bewilders me, I should say. No matter how a man looks, a man can be ugly as hell. He can look like trash on the street. Right?
Anne Marie, you on point. Go ahead.
He can be trash on the street. But when a man gets money and a little bit of power, it's not hard for him to find a woman to do whatever sexual things he wants to do. It's not hard. It's really not. He ain't got to have a lot. This man has a value of $3 to $5 million. You ain't got to have that much. You can just be a dude with a good job, and you can find a woman that's gonna do whatever you need or whatever you're looking for. You ain't gonna find that. There's no justification for that. There's no reason for that. But what we cannot do is allow these people to be on pedestals. And when they and when you don't know and they're rising on the pedestal, but when this kind of thing happens, right? When this kind of thing happens, that's when you have to look at it for what it is and be like, cut this fool. All right? Because you're going to have some people that you put on a pedestal that's going to let you down. Everybody's going to let you down at some point. But the level that they let you down at has to have an equal response to it. A man, so-called man, a grown man by physical and legal standing who violates a child should be cut. Hell, I'm going to tell you, it couldn't have been... he couldn't walk through my door right now. Because there is no legal justice when you walk through my door. If he were to walk through my door, he's not walking out. It's as simple as that. And I'll take the brunt of it. I don't give a shit. He wouldn't walk back out my door. Because when I tell you that the air conditioner is on, but I'm still sweating up under here, I'm sweating up under here. Because I would literally... Pedophile, to me, is one of the worst motherfuckers in creation. And y'all know I try not to cuss, and I've been working on that, and I don't do it on these videos. But this joker just got me at this got me at a level because I see these other so-called black leaders, so-called I got my YouTube following platform jokers supporting this dude. Acting like we gonna wait for all the information to come out. I don't give a shit if he get off on a technicality. What
more do you need outside? Once there's DNA evidence that this baby girl got, because see, the problem is that a lot of black women, when they look at black girls, they treat them like they're women, like they're supposed to know things that they don't know, things that they have not been taught, things that they have not experienced and don't understand, and that they can't fall into the manipulation of someone who is older and someone that they look up to. So it's almost like she should have known better, and that's bull.
Such bull. There was when I was in high school, there was a young lady. She was doing a modeling thing, but she kept dating these dudes who were like 27, 28 years old. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't mess with none of the high school guys, and because they were feeding her mind. She was even at 17, 18, she's still young in her mind. They kept feeding her mind. And when I came back 7 years later and saw her, she was 3 kids in the project, busted. These jokers now moved to another state so that they don't have to pay child support. A grown man, will, a dude the same age as the woman that he's with,
that's right.
Especially when they're in high school, can manipulate the little girl. That's why a lot of little girls give up their virginities when they're young, because that little boy at 16, he's telling her, I love you, we're going to get married, and all this kind of BS, right? And a girl will give up her virginity. What do you think is going to happen when you got some 30-something-year-old man hanging around this little 14-year-old girl?
High profile, money.
But because his second wife was already 16 when he started getting with her, when he was violating her, right? He already knew how to maneuver that mess. And he was just waiting on an opportunity, a plan, in order to get this little girl away from her mother, get her away from the entourage that will watch out for her, and go violate this little girl. And what's stupid, and this is wrong, this is also wrong as hell. When you roll in at that level of finances, there are underground clubs that you could have went to, Im-Polight. You could have done all of this in
With
some underground. There are
consenting adults. With consenting adults.
What I'm saying is, look,
No.
I used to do a job in the Marine Corps where I saw some stupid stuff, and then even just when traveling, being in the military, there are some countries where their age limit laws are a lot lower, and I've seen grown ass men go to these countries so they can get with these underage girls, because then there's no repercussions. I've seen grown ass men who know of these underground clubs, and I look forward to I loved every time I saw, when I was in the Marine Corps and I saw one of those child trafficking organizations get shut down and they killed all of them. I applauded. I was happy. Right? But there are places, unfortunately, we still live in a world where there are places where you can go get that. Dude, you worth $3.3 to $5 million. You could have went and done that. But instead, you did this to a little girl that trusted you. And you want to then walk around talking about women, or the black woman is God. You want to walk around praising black women while you got your women looking like hoes. Like, seriously. And the level of the black men that kept following this. Black men, we cannot stand this way. We have our imperfections. We're going to not be perfect. We're not going to do things right all the time. But when it comes to protecting our black women, we have to be at the forefront.
And children.
And especially our children. Yeah. Because most of the black women most adults have some trauma. Black men and women, you had some trauma. I've had my traumas. I'm sure Wakila's had hers. Mm-hmm. Every woman I've known has had some level of trauma. We all have something going on with us. But the thing about it, we have to protect children who haven't yet experienced all these traumas, and we cannot be the ones giving that trauma. Like, I've seen where I grew up too many situations where men were allowed to be pedophiles simply because the woman wanted to keep a man in the house. Both of them are trash. But the biggest piece of trash is that man that's doing it, because he's manipulating the adult woman and he's manipulating the children.
Or the ones with the mothers who, and Claudette, I agree with you. The mothers who will allow that to happen because, well, that's her baby, that's her son.
Yeah.
So we gonna, I gotta protect my boy, my baby, and so you allow your son to wreak havoc on the rest of the family.
All right. And Claudette, you're exactly right. I don't agree with that BS. Even these countries, like some of the Arab countries that I went to, their age limit is lower. I think that's total bullshit. Yeah. A child is a child. Hell, in all honesty, I don't even think an 18-year-old is mature enough to make those kind of decisions. I was 19 when the first time I got married, and I didn't even have the maturity to make a marriage decision, much less a sexual decision.
That is so true.
So
when I was 18, I really thought I knew something, and I didn't really understand a whole lot of things till I got like 25 and the 30. Yeah, you are very immature. You don't know what you're doing, but they know what they're doing.
But Im-Polight is 30-something years old, and you molesting children, and some of y'all are supporting this molestation. When you sit up here, Sinetta, and you call him because you got access, and I'm gonna be honest, you only calling him and you trying to maintain that access because you trying to get likes and views on your YouTube channel.
Okay. All right.
And trust me, this is not me trying to do that because I don't really give a shit about it. Because if you can go and ask Kevin, I've told Kevin plenty of times, bruh, I was happy when I had my 32 subscribers. And before I went out to bat for you, and then that shit jacked up because then people had this expectation, and I was like, I ain't trying to be that person in this community, right? But if people like what I talk about, it's cool, whatever. And if you don't like what I'm talking about now, then you need to get the hell on off my page because I don't give a shit. All right. So the thing, but Sinetta, you just trying to get more likes and views, and then you're gonna come out on the wrong end of this. Because when bruh stuff life get turned upside down, you sitting up there talking about, Oh man, they out here talking crazy stuff about you. They ain't talking crazy stuff about
They're
you.
telling the truth.
You got your DNA on this little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you didn't have the DNA on this little girl, you took a little girl to a hotel. You already checked into a hotel with the entourage
That's
and his
right.
mother, but then you take the little girl to another hotel.
I go find it.
What in the Sam hell? What in the 4 levels of blue hell are you talking about? Over there in my bag.
Oh.
What are you talking about? There's nothing to support here. You took a little girl to a hotel. I don't care what else happened at that hotel. No grown ass man should be taking a little girl to a hotel. That's foolishness. That in itself is enough reason to not support this low light joker, this imposter. He gets up there and he'll tell everybody else. I don't listen to a lot of his BS. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of his stuff because I already recognize very early on that this man has a low light anyway, and that he is the actual imposter, the agent. Like to call other people agent. Now, bro, you the agent.
And that's the crazy thing is because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, you're saying it." Even Polite was saying it in his response. They hate me. They're saying this because they hate me, or they're doing this because they hate me. No, it's not about hate. I watched Polite for a long time. I like Polite's debates. I think that when he starts talking about religion and philosophy and different things, that a lot of it is on point. And I appreciated a lot of his content. But when you now, it's not about that no more.
When you've been exposed.
Yeah, it's not about whether I like you or whether I like your commentary or whatever it happens to be, or your debates. It don't have nothing to do with that. We're talking about a little girl here, a little innocent girl here that you put in a position to be violated, and for what?
Like I said in the beginning, if a person does something that I may not like, but they got good stuff that they've done, I'll separate the two. If it came out that he was on drugs, if it came out he was an alcoholic, if it came out that, I don't know, now that if he embezzled black folks' money, I'd be like, hell no.
Like, they've been saying that he's been doing that though.
But there are certain things that if it came out and it was that, I'd be like, ah man, you messed up, you effed up, I can't really trust you no more. Your information was good, and I might keep digging on the information that you used to put out, but I really can't deal with you. But when you're not crossed the line here, you're not, and this ain't no gray area. This is freaking black and white. This is I've got one wall that's black and then another wall that's white, and there's a distinct line between those two walls. There's no fading here.
Yeah.
You molested a child. You manipulated a whole situation of adults so that you can go have a few minutes to live out some
Whatever
demented ass fantasy that you have. And you know what? It's not a fantasy, because Emery is right. This is not the first time.
Yeah.
Generally, when people do something, they don't get caught the first time. They get caught when they get comfortable. Because evidently this fool got comfortable. It ain't enough for you to start messing with a girl when she's 16 and then convince her that she's your wife, and now y'all together and she's supposed to be your wife, and now that she's an adult. And I guess that's the problem. You got adult wives and adult girlfriends, but you need that underage girl to be yours.
Real quick, I want to say it happened in Miami, Florida. Somebody asked where it happened.
Okay.
Kitty says, this is a story of a lot of young women that didn't see it that way because of grooming from family, from the family dynamic or society. I hope we can, ooh, I'm sorry, honey.
Don't turn it off now.
I'm trying not to.
You're
And
not.
my finger's all in the thing. I hope we can continue to uproot and expose this spirit. Absolutely.
Right, and it needs to be.
Absolutely.
And that's the main reason that I'm on here. I don't give two shits about what happened to Im-Polight. In all honesty, I care less. I do care about what happens to the little girl. I do care about what happens to her mom, and I do care about the other women that are his wives and girlfriends. If these women who are his wives and girlfriends stick by his side, y'all are trash because y'all are just there because you want the money.
Garbage.
Any man, so-called man, because as soon as you support him, you are not a man. So any so-called black man that supports him, that says that, Oh, we gotta wait for the information. Oh, these people out here talking about it. These are haters who just want to bring you down. These are people who just want to take up your space. They want the same thing you got. They jealous. Y'all, I'ma say it the way I want to say it, and y'all know I don't use this language.
Go ahead.
Y'all some punk ass bitches. Y'all some punk ass. I know. Don't make that face. Don't make that face, cause this.
Yeah, I know you feeling some kind of way.
Y'all just don't know. Honestly, if I didn't have kids and I didn't have a family, I'd track him down to shoot him.
You see, allegedly.
No, I torture his ass for about a good 5 years first.
Allegedly.
And I abhor violence. Just to be honest, I do. I really don't. But when it comes to a pedophile, that it's something you bring out of me that I hate even to see within myself. Because I know when I go back and look at this video, I'm gonna look at myself and be like, "Come on, man, you gotta bring. Don't let that get on you like that." But pedophile, to me, is a crime that should automatically come with the death penalty. It should automatically come with the death. You shouldn't be able to live in prison. Actually, no. You should be in prison and you should be in general population so that all those prisoners who got daughters can show you something for a little. Let them show you something for a couple of years, and then you should get the death penalty. You should not be allowed to breathe. Our tax dollars should not pay for you to exist anymore. If you believe in reincarnation, your ass need to come back and try it again because you fucked up the first one. Right? Pedophiles are the worst people on this planet. I'd rather somebody come and steal from me. I'd rather you come and beat the shit out of me. I'd rather you come and burn my building down. I'd rather you do any of those things. But when you take advantage of a child, come on, man. And then y'all, brothers, real men. Here's one of the debates that me and Wakila have quite often. There's too many loud, negative black men out there in all levels of our community. The rap game, the music game, the entertainment game, the sports game, in business. There's too many of them who are loud. And the loud people begin to create the stereotype of the majority. That's the first thing. For the good black men that are you holding it down for your family, you protecting your family, you're providing for your family, you're building with your family. Y'all too quiet. Y'all too quiet. A few years ago, I myself may not have said anything right now. Nah, it's pedophile. I'll say some shit. I said something. But like when some of these other black men do stuff that hurts the black community, I haven't come out and said much. I've been too quiet. And this is one reason why black women that across the conscious community, YouTube community and Twitter and all that are screaming mad because they feel like they don't have enough loud black men protecting them, talking positive about them, y'all be calling women queen but then treat them like trash. Right?
To the point it means nothing anymore.
Right. What the hell? Nothing. But if you are a decent black man, you gotta get vocal. You gotta get out of, man, in my neighborhood, man, I'm down for the people. Nah, we're in a different world, bro.
You gotta separate yourself.
This is a social media world where one dude's words can travel around the world.
Yes.
And the thing about it is that if we want to make a change in the black community, the change has to come in the black American man's mind. And this is why I specify the black American man's mind. Because the world knows that right now, the superpower is still America. And what comes out of America influences the world. It's great that we have some African black leaders over there now, like President Kagame, and then the president of Ghana, who are doing incredibly positive things to uplift the black community in Africa and trying to push it out to the diaspora. But if the black American man don't start standing up and stop trying to play this game like you white, it's not gonna work. And here's the thing, I'm not mad at white men. White men, do your thing. Why would anybody give up their power? Why would anybody, like, I hear black people getting mad about, oh, he got white privilege. Shit, if I had black privilege, I'd take it. I'm not gonna give up my black privilege. So I don't expect a white man to give up his white privilege. I expect the white man to continue to use his white privilege. Use the shit out of it. If it's gonna make it better that I can provide for my family, I'm gonna use the shit out of it. But what it is for the black man, you gotta realize you can't play the same game because you're not on the same field. You're on a whole nother field. This is why we're getting outpaced by the Asian man. We're getting outpaced by the Spanish man. We're getting outpaced. Even the African man comes over here and outpaces the black man in America because they are not playing this game as if they are on the same field. Y'all be talking about, oh, they playing chess while you playing checkers. No, you ain't even on the same board. And the moment you recognize that you're not on the same board, that you got to play a whole different game so that you can still get to the prize, then you got to play that different game. If you're not building your community. Now, we was talking the other day about how, yeah, we have a lot of single black mothers out there, right? But I showed her an article where the article was talking about, even though we have a lot of black kids born out of wedlock, black men actually have the highest participation in their black child's lives. Now, I know some of y'all have not experienced that. And in some of y'all neighborhoods, you may not see that. But I'm just going by multiple studies that says that. Don't be looking over there like that. But the thing about it is that we got to do more than just be involved in our children's lives. We got to build some shit, right? I ain't saying everybody got to build a business, because everybody ain't gonna build a business.
Yeah.
This doing business, most people, period, ain't cut out to do this. This is why most people are employees. You ain't got to build a business, but fix your credit, buy a house, build some finances, allow for your children to do more than just 10% better than what you did. Put your children in a situation where they can do 100% better than what you did, right? You didn't get an education, make sure your children get one. But make sure they get an education outside of what the Western culture has already determined is an education. Because the black education is bigger, it's different. It's much, much different than the education of anybody else walking on this street. As a black man, I don't walk onto the streets and get the same treatment as a white man, so my kids need to know the difference. They have to have life education, and we're not providing that enough. And we're sitting up here letting people like Im-Polight be the father figure, be the male role model that our children see. And that's not acceptable. Because when they fall down the way that this man is falling down, they need to be able to look back and say that, okay, he fell down, but my true black hero is my father, is my black father. That's my true black hero that I need to emulate. Yeah, he don't have 3.5 million or 5 million, 3 to 5 million in assets. He doesn't have that, or relative value. He doesn't have that. But you know what he does have? He bought a house. He provided a roof that belongs to us, that can be passed down for generations. He made sure he had life insurance so that he didn't leave us with a bill. You know, let your child have some of that, so that they do the same thing and even better and bigger for their children. So that 5 generations from now, the black man in America is not the most oppressed person in this freaking country. And that black man who is the most oppressed, let me rephrase that, the most oppressed man in this country is then not oppressing the black woman that makes her the most oppressed person in this freaking country. Right? And y'all wonder why so many black women have difficulties being with a black man. Is because the loud ones are out there letting a black woman know that she ain't shit. The loud ones are out there hopping from baby mama to baby mama to baby mama, making babies all over the place. And then when they do get a little money, they go run to somebody that don't look like them, somebody that don't look like their son, somebody that don't look like their daughter.
And then when they're done, then after they have made all of these single mothers, and abandon these single mothers to take care of these children by themselves, now we're gonna degrade the idea of the single mother.
Right. And we want to degrade them on some bullshit. Oh, she's trying to wear her hair like a white woman. I don't give a shit how, I do care how a black woman wears her hair, because whether it look good on her or not, to me, in my opinion, is how I look. And there's I like straight hair, I like kinky hair, I like curly hair. I like it all.
You know what?
Just
I appreciate just thank you, because I hear so many of them. We want it natural. You need to have your hair. Take the weave out. Take the makeup off. Stop that. Stop the lying. Now I'm just saying, and I know that there's a lot of people out there, or there's some men out there that like the natural. But let me tell you something. I could wear my hair natural. And I'm just gonna be honest. Well, not now, but before. I can wear my hair natural. But when I put that 22-inch weave in my head, brothers don't want to leave you alone, and that's just the truth of the situation. If that's what you like, that's cool.
That's what you
If
like.
That's just what you like. Sometimes you like it straight, you like it curly. Sometimes you want it natural. But stop. If what you need is a natural woman, then go get you one, because they out here.
Yeah, but
But don't try to control what every black woman do with their.
but this same brother walking around talking about women, black women wearing natural hair.
Okay.
You out there wearing a suit that was made by some white company.
All right.
That's a Western looking suit. You out here wearing shoes that's made by Nike and Adidas and all these other companies.
You're as assimilated.
You assimilated like a big dog.
There we go.
And that's the problem. Y'all, too many of us are assimilated. We don't want to make waves. We're trying to be quiet. And the only time, it's this thing called the law of central diffusion, right? When 1%, 3%, 5%, 7% are doing something, which is what we got now. We got 1%, 2%, 3%, 7% of black men who are actually doing things positive in the community, building the community, that sort of thing. Well, that's what's seen. Let me rephrase. That's what's being seen. But until what's being seen goes over 15%, the next 36% will come simply because they think it's safe now to do it. Now I can do it because I've seen 15%. When 15% of the black men buy the homes in their community, I guarantee you, this law is a scientific law. This law is a psychological law. It's mostly used in marketing. But when 15% of a neighborhood is purchased by landowners, then miraculously, the next 36% of that community starts being purchased by other people that look just like them. And then after that 36, when the next 36 feel like, okay, that seems like to be the way that everybody's going, so I'm a damn sheep and let me just follow everybody else. And then they'll buy all the houses. Now you only have 16% that will never buy a house. So no, we're never gonna get full, but that's how it works. But until until we get to 15%, the 1% of us, 2, 3, 4, 5% of us that will stand up for a black woman, we're not getting there. We're not going to get there. More brothers gotta get on platforms. More brothers gotta come out and support the black woman. More brothers gotta come out and say, hey, this dude, Im-Polight, is a piece of trash. He's a piece of shit. Should not be allowed to breathe. Need to be up under the prison because what he did, we're not going to tolerate. We're not going to tolerate.
And in that sends the message out to the rest of the community. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, this is a standard. No, we're not going to do that.
And here's the thing about playing the stupid game. When you sit up there and say, well, you know, if we did that, then the white man gonna come in and try to mess up our communities. Yeah, they pushed crack into the community when the Black Panthers was moving. But the white man is also learning that when they push something like crack into our community, it rolls over into theirs.
Yep.
But when it rolls over into theirs, it rolls a hell of a lot harder.
That's
because
right.
You don't see black kids running around hopped up on Molly. I don't even know what Molly really is.
Well, no, they do the mollies. They
Who?
do. They
Black
are
kids?
young black kids.
Nah, not like them white kids.
No,
Not like them white kids.
no, not like that.
Not like that.
Because we don't. Black kids, they gotta smoke weed.
Yeah, they smoke the hell out of some weed.
They gotta smoke weed, but those other the
when
opiates,
you start getting
those
to
drugs,
the opiates and the
meth,
heroin and meth
and things
and
like
that's
that.
the one I was really thinking about.
The
Is meth.
yeah.
The white kids went from crack to meth, so they learning. But here's the
And
thing.
the kids.
But here's the thing. I don't give two rats asses about what they learning. That's y'all trying to play this game, thinking you're on the same field as they are on, thinking you're on the same board as they're on. We can't play that game. And yeah, economics and laws and everything was different during the Black Panther time frame, where they was allowed the establishment had more of an ability to run through and destroy the black community. But that ain't the same today. It's not. More black people have more finances. More black people are in more powerful positions.
Yeah.
More black people have the ability to withstand the brunt of that kind of attack. So you basically, I'm not saying that as, oh, kill the white man. No. I'm saying that as stand your punk ass up and stop giving out some excuse that the white man or the government is going to come and knock you down. Okay, fine. If it is, take your ass to Ghana. Take your ass to Rwanda. Go to Tanzania. I actually had a brother come and tell me, oh man, I wouldn't go to Rwanda. They still got civil wars over there. Well, that happened in the early mid-1990s. Hell, I was there when it was going down. That happened back then. And you still think it's happening today when Kigali is one of the most clean, beautiful, economically enterprising cities in the world? Are you serious? Your lack of knowledge is killing you. But more than that, what's killing you is your lack of bravery, your lack of courage. And we got to have the courage to stand up against people like Polite and say that, hey, hell no, bruh. Because there's only like 5-7% of us who are standing up, which only because so few of us are standing up, the black woman feels unprotected, that we got to cut you. You got to go. We got to police our own. We got to police our own. We can't let somebody else police us. We can't sit around and let the media be the ones to show that this brother does not deserve to exist. The media can't take the lead, because when you look at the media, who's running it, who's on it, who's controlling the narrative, it ain't us. They have one of us on the channel, but just one of us is on the channel. But we ain't
one
running
of
it.
us is being told what to say when we on that
sure
channel.
is.
So it's not like they just
But because we have social media, because we have these outlets, we got to police our own. And the evidence that is out on this man is enough for you to say, to hell with him and the rat bag shit that he's doing, and anybody who supports him, whether they male or female, I don't care. I don't care. I'm that guy that I just looks at things exactly how they are. I'm not a super masculine. I'm gonna support everything a man does. I don't care what a black man does, he's right. I don't support everything. Oh, whatever a black woman does, she's right. No, if your ass is wrong, you just wrong. Simple as that. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And any black man that is out here, any black woman that is out here supporting Im-Polight, then you are dead fucking wrong, and you need to go and just go join go get your agent badge on, because that's what you are. You're an agent. You know what? Stop touching the screen.
Well,
You
that's
just-
'cause I
you just
was
mess it
try-
up.
my
That's all you
bad.
had to do. That's all you gotta do.
Eyes wide open. Did the evidence against him come out yet, or is it still an accusation? You want to go ahead and answer
Okay, let's get into some legal stuff. It will be an accusation until the hearing is finished. Until he has a hearing, it will always be an accusation. All right? So that's that part. Evidence-wise, though, his own statements is that he took the little girl to he was supposed to take the little girl to an after party at a club. That's delinquency of a minor. That he took the little girl and checked into a different hotel, delinquency of a minor. This is his statements, right? Now, the other evidence from a rape kit is that the little girl had his semen, because they got his semen. They forced him to give his semen. His semen came out to be on the little girl's clothing and on the little girl's mouth. Drugs were found in the little girl's system, right? So therefore, that evidence is this grown-ass pedophile took a little girl to a hotel after first telling her he was taking her to a club, and then proceeded to drug her and got his sperm all over her. I don't need a court hearing for some judge to tell me that this man is guilty as hell, right? You're already guilty for the delinquency of a minor on at least 2-3 accounts. But now your sperm is on her face. Your sperm is on her clothing. And then and his own words that he convinced the mother not to call the police. Right? If I'm innocent, what am I fearful of? I have no fear if I'm innocent.
You're not innocent, because you know you're not innocent.
So no.
You know you're not innocent.
It's an accusation, but the physical evidence already demonstrates that this man got sperm on this little girl, on her mouth and her clothing. That he took a little girl to a hotel, and that he took her to what was supposed to be an after party at a club. So I don't know about you, and I'm not gonna tell you what you gotta have, but I don't need nothing else. I'm good. We live in America, so we gotta go through due process. Put his ass under the prison. All I want to hear is a good verdict. Death penalty. That's what I want to hear.
Well, they're not gonna.
I know they don't do that, which it amazes me. You violate a young child, you've damaged that young child for possibly the rest of her life, and hopefully she gets some good help. But you get to breathe.
Well, you know that's the patriarchal society that we live in, and you gotta.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
And you know there's a lot of white pedophiles as well, so they got to protect their own in that.
And they do.
And some things are done to protect them.
Everybody do, yeah.
Let me give you an example. All these abortion laws has nothing to do with black women. Absolutely nothing to do about black women. They actually stated back in the 1950s that they were the abortion laws were there. This was a congressman or senator. That it was a congressman or senator that stated that we have to make abortion illegal, because if we don't, white people won't be the majority in America
That's right.
anymore. Because mostly white women were getting abortions.
Do you know who
So
Tommy Lauren is?
it ain't about that.
You know who Tommy Lauren is?
You know, I don't know half these people
Okay,
names.
so anyway, she was a supposed contributor to Fox News, and this little girl, she was a younger blonde-headed girl, but she just had so much mouth, so much to talk about the black community, and they loved her on Fox. And one time she got on there, and she said something to the effect of, she does not need anyone to tell her what to do to her body. She needs the government to stay out of her business when it comes to her body. When she said it, I knew that they was going to fire her. They fired her.
Of course.
After everything that she had said, everything that she said was fine until she said that. Because they knew that she would then be influencing other girls her age to say the same thing. And look, don't worry about it. And their population is hurting right now. And they need them to
they
be
need
having
births.
babies. They got her up out of there.
They are like 10, 15 years away from not being the majority anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
of course it's not about. So you gotta see beyond this, beyond the veil. And if you let the media be the ones to stand up, then what happens is you subconsciously start thinking that white people in the government are your savior.
Yeah.
And then that nullifies the black man and the black woman in your community. Just like a lot of these I hate watching TV because, and this is another backfire thing. If you notice over the last 15, 20 years, they've been feminizing black men on commercials and TV and all that kind of stuff, right? But you know what commercials I started noticing? They're now feminizing white men on these commercials as well. I saw a commercial yesterday, and they had the most effeminate white man they could find.
Yeah.
And he was all flailing hotness on there. And I was like, yep, it rolls right on over.
Yeah.
Now they got black men, and then they had the white dude at the Olympics dressed up like a woman, doing commentating. They're effeminizing men, period.
Yeah.
Because you can't do something to one group and it doesn't eventually roll over to the next group.
Yeah.
So it happens all the time. But like LBJ said, if you can make the lowest white man feel like he is better than the best black man, then they'll keep voting for you. They'll keep putting you up there, no matter how much you brutalize them and treat them. That's why you'll go into some of these trailer park communities, and those are predominantly white,
Yeah.
but they will think they are better. They are still
That's right.
better than any black man that got any amount of money or any amount of success
there's someone like
have
that.
a strong family. They'll still think that because that's the mentality. And if people don't realize it, the government mentality is not to uplift white men or to uplift black men. It's to maintain their power.
That's right.
They don't care if they stomp on 30% of their own population.
That's right.
If they can still maintain power over the mass of people.
Because some of it is about racism. Some of it is about black and white. But a lot of it is about class and what you have and what you don't have.
It ain't I'm trying to tell people it's about class.
It is.
Now somebody just had something on the Facebook one, and they said that as soon as he took the little girl to a different hotel, that was enough for them.
That's it.
And that's all we need. We shouldn't need a government or a judge, well, that's the government, to tell us that he's guilty, that he's a piece of shit, that he's low-level trash.
And I think that's what a lot of people are saying, the ones that say, oh, we got to wait. We got to wait until we need to wait. What you're waiting for is for
Your savior.
white man to tell you that he's guilty. And now you can feel some kind of way.
Now every decent, true black man need to feel some kind of way. And if you in your church, you need to be screaming it. If you in your mosque, you need to be screaming it. You in your temple, you need to be screaming it. I would rather see the Hebrew Israelites on the street screaming that than the other stuff that they screaming. But they won't.
Because a lot of them, and a lot of people who are also saying that, we need to find out, wait, we got a whole lot. A lot of them relate to who he is. A lot of them relate and have done similar things themselves.
And they are starry-eyed and want to get next to his money because they want some money. And you're right. They probably... Look, I'm going to go ahead and say it. if I was working for one of them 3-letter organizations, I would investigate Sonetta like, bruh, are you out there pedophiling? Because you sure came out strong for a pedophile.
But then we
I
were
would-
saying
I would want to come. I'd investigate him.
Sonetta, but they had a conflict before. Polite and Sonetta had a conflict before, and Sonetta's biggest issue, he called him Baby Dr. York. Now, Dr. York is someone who
Right.
was arrested for pedophilia.
Now, why
And
you
here
talking?
is Sonetta calling Polite Baby Dr. York. What does he know? What does Sonetta know?
He in the camp.
And because he ran his mouth so much because he wanted to be a big dog on YouTube, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna be, they get into this investigation. Sonetta's gonna have to answer some questions as well.
So, people, we need more. I'm begging. I'm begging. It's cool if you're doing great things in your community. Keep doing those great things in your community, but you need to make it loud. It needs to be pronounced.
Yeah.
Our black women, our black children need to see black men loud who are doing what they need to do. Don't think that you got to be perfect. You're not. I'm far from perfect. Far from perfect. I'm not perfect. I never will be perfect. But I'm telling you, even in my imperfection, I don't have that kind of imperfection.
I know that's right.
People don't like that I smoke cigars. That's an imperfection to some people. But I mean, some people, people come on, like, oh, you're talking all this spiritual consciousness, but you're smoking poison. Like, no, this is actually natural. There's no chemicals in this. But is smoking
Really?
great for you? No, it's not great for you.
No.
It doesn't go in my lungs, and you don't
No.
get
No,
cancer.
you
You don't
can't
hear
hear.
cigar smokers getting cancer. But anyway, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
You're not going to be perfect. And it's okay to let your imperfections show as long as you're not violating the forget a religious morality. You're not violating human morality.
Right.
There's a human morality.
Right.
You don't beat your wife, right? You don't steal from people.
You don't do
You don't molest children.
anything that's going to negatively affect another person's life. Period.
And what I
You
always
don't do, and you don't need the Bible. You don't need Jesus or Allah or Muhammad or whatever to tell you that. You know when you're doing something that is wrong and that's morally wrong. When you are hurting someone else or affecting their life negatively, that's when you've crossed the line.
Yeah, and you have. And we got a bigger fish to fry. What's that?
What's what?
We're Aboriginal Indian. Okay, I just said we have bigger fish to
Are
fry.
not black.
And I know the mentality in that in that line is that if once we know who we are, then we can take our rightful place. Brother, this is what I need you to do, and please go do it. Please go do it. You focused on that so damn much, but go build a community. Build a community. If you really want to do the indigenous Aboriginal people, instead of saying get your paperwork and know who you really are, build a freaking compound. Get all your other Aboriginals come together. Build a damn compound. Start building. The Israelite people in the midst of the Roman Empire built a Jewish state. It's called the War of the Maccabees. Go read about the War of the Maccabees. I'm sure you already know about the War of the Maccabees. But they built a Jewish state inside of another country while being occupied by another country. Go do that first. Before you talk to me about you an indigenous person. To be honest, we have that debate. I know where my family, I have Aboriginal people in my family, been here forever. But I also know I got people in my family who came from West Africa. All right? So I know I got both. But here's the thing. I don't give a shit personally about, it's cool to know. It's cool. So let me not say that. It's cool to know. But unless you're doing something substantial, unless you're building a community, unless you're building grocery stores in that community, unless you're building things that allows your dollar to circulate in that community, you can scream that to the high heavens. You ain't making a difference. You're not. And she disagreed, but that's just a disagreement.
No,
but until I see some, until I see, something being done that creates your own country, then it's like, okay, that's good, but what you gonna do with it? It's like that whole thing, if you know better, you do better. Most of y'all know not to spend more money than you make, but you keep doing it. So until I see it, it's just words.
I think that would, if more people knew that, or I think that would, I don't know, I want to say give a sense of pride, a sense of belonging, because a lot of people think that we are not from here. I'm not one of those people.
But if we focus on that,
But-
all we creating is a
but-
divide.
Huh?
All we creating is a divide amongst our own people that look like us. Because like he just said, he said black is a nationality in the black, and black is a nationality, that whole thing, and it has no standing with the government and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay, guess what? Being Aboriginal doesn't
That's
have any.
awesome shit. Is that a share? What's his name? What is that? Is that
Todd
Todd
Moore.
Moore? Todd Moore. Okay. So a share. But yeah, he says, I have a community outreach program for the youth, a positive dance show called Dance Connection in conjunction with Berkeley Community Media Access TV Comcast
That's
Channel
cool.
28. That is
Right.
awesome.
That is awesome.
And I am also married into a Danish noble family. Nationality is everything.
That's what?
A Danish noble family.
So you married into a white family?
We're going to wait for your answer, honey.
But the TV stuff, the dance stuff, that's cool. Buy some land. Buy a house. Buy a community. Buy a grocery store. Buy something that's material. All right? I mean, this is nice. This YouTube stuff, Facebook stuff,
Yeah.
this is nice. I could go do a podcast.
See you talk.
I can go do all that. But until I build something concrete, that's why when I see black people getting all these network marketing companies, I'm like, you ain't got nothing concrete. Because some white dude at the top can snatch all that away.
He said he missed the question.
We talk,
Oh, okay. You're the one who said that you are married into a Danish noble family?
I asked you if you're married to a white family. Because Danish people white. You know, I've been up there. And that don't mean nothing, but
Yeah.
I've you know, I know that whole European history because we had to learn it.
Yeah.
And I had to learn it militarily when I was in the Marine Corps.
Judy, and in all honesty, like I said, real quick, wholeness, much love to you too as well.
Oh, that's Todd. Todd's a different person than the other.
Todd is different than
the-
the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Todd, so I don't know if Todd is Scandinavian. Yeah, white people.
Oh, okay. Well, I do believe that nationality is very important, especially because if you're telling people that they are from somewhere else, then it takes them away from the land, and they feel like they don't belong to this land. So they're not that invested in what happens because this is never really home. So I do feel, I do understand it, but I don't want to take us into something that we're not here to
We're not here to
discuss.
talk about that because I understand
So
that too, but
I feel you,
Until
and
you-
like I
so get the damn land. At the end of the day, get the land. Okay?
we hear you, Todd. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I understand, you know,
Yeah.
no disrespect. I'm just saying, get the land. It's a lovely thing, but get the
Yeah.
land. It's just like
Yeah.
what they're doing in the African countries. They like, hey, Chinese people, get the hell out. Hey,
In
Europeans, get
South
the hell
Africa, they're like,
We're
they're
taking-
trying
this
to
is our
say,
land.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
out. So I'm with you. If you Aboriginal, take the land.
Sorry.
But in order to take the land, what we can't have is these falsified so-called black leaders who pedophiling children. We can't have that.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to that, y'all. Maybe another day we'll get together.
We'll get back together.
and talk about
We'll
the
talk about the
indigenous
indigenous,
and
Aboriginal,
and African.
And my
we
whole
can
thing
talk
is gonna be
about it.
take the damn land and the resources and build shit. I don't give a fuck. I can be whatever.
We're gonna take that.
But if the people like me are suffering, I don't care if you're Aboriginal and I'm from, my heritage is African. If we ain't taking the land and building business and developing, then all of that don't mean shit to me. It's like we got to take the land. You got to take it. And I ain't saying go out and start a war because ain't enough for us to do it. But and we ain't got the technology to do it. But we can economically do it if we
Yes.
get off our stupidity and go do it.
I agree.
And part of that stupidity is backing people like let me see how I'm rolling right back to it, is backing these fools like Im-Polight,
There we go, baby.
who is pedophiling children. Because I'm not going to say that it's just this one girl. I guarantee
No.
that there are 50
Yeah.
other accounts. And just the video that young Pharaoh played of the girl admitting that when she got with Polite, she was 16. That's count number 2. That's at least count number 2. Right there. Don't blow that sweet smelling cigar. No, I just playing. Old honey cigar.
You gotta have that old harsh mess. Mm-hmm. That wood and cedar and all that other mess.
Oh, it is. It is a nice wood cedar hay.
Nuts?
Yeah.
Any nuts in
No,
there?
no.
Not that one?
Coffee,
Okay.
notes of coffee. But and that's the thing.
Thank you, Todd.
And what Todd is saying about we have to get on the right frequency and vibration to not allow ourselves to get sucked in, because I do understand we have so few real black leaders out there that we have a tendency to gravitate to whoever becomes popular, whoever is saying something that resonates with us. But when they step across the line and they break our trust by pedophiling a little girl, by taking her to a hotel, by taking her to what was supposed to be an after party
not to be
against
trusted.
her mother's wishes,
not to be
and
trusted.
then they find your semen all on the girl's clothes and mouth and all of that BS, and then you afraid of the cops, then look, we need to come out and police our own and say to hell with that bastard, and we need to be the black leader. Let me understand, be the black leader
all right.
yourself, because we need at least 15% of the black men who are doing what they are supposed to do, who are building families, to be loud. Because if the 15% becomes loud, then the next 36% will feel like it's a good thing to be loud. And when that 36% feel like it's a good thing to be loud, then the next 36% who are the sheep and will follow whatever is trending, they will be loud. And when at that point, right? And my math may be a little bit off, but at that point, we'll have like 82, 87%, 83% of the black men who are doing the right thing being loud. Then that becomes our norm.
Yeah, and that's what we need.
And when that becomes
normalize
right,
it.
when that becomes, and here's the thing, my brother with the
Todd.
no, was Todd the one? No, not Todd wasn't the one talking about the Aboriginal thing. Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
what?
No, it was somebody else, because he had a longer name on it.
Oh, okay.
The thing about it, at that point, then we will have established the fact that we are economically and land owning, and we own the land, and we are economically a force, and then we can have our debates. We can say, you know what, I'm Aboriginal, Native, my family's African, but you know what, we can argue that all day over a cigar and a nice little glass, but at the end of the conversation, we're like, okay, so as far as the oil industry, we've already built refineries in these other countries, we're doing this, we're doing that, we've changed our school system in our community because we own the homes in all of our communities, so we dictate policy as far as what education is
That's
being
what I
taught.
thought. He said this is other page. It is there.
Oh, man, don't be tricking me
what I
like
thought.
yeah,
I'm
because the
like,
picture is
oh,
the same. The
God,
picture is the
yeah.
same. Okay, I got you. See, old trickery. Tie for trickery. T for trickery. Nah, just playing. But that's when we do that. But doing that, just like there were infiltrators in the Black Panther movement. There were infiltrators in the
Everywhere.
SCLC. There's always
There's
infiltrators.
always one.
And there's a 16% that I'm not talking about. That 16% is the ones that will never come across. They will never do what's necessary unless they have absolutely no choice. But within that 16%, you do have agents. You do have infiltrators. And we have to be, and when we see them, we have to expose the shit out of them to make it a fearful thing to become one.
That's right.
And Im-Polight is an infiltrator, an imposter. And because we are so weak in black men who stand up positively for the black family and for black women and black children, that he is able to gain such a large audience and gain the finances, and we have to be on guard of that. And the only way we can do it is to start being loud. I know what my platform is normally about, and I'm trying and I'm loud about that, but this video had to be done by me because it had to be loud that I'm not taking this bullshit from a person like him. And I don't give two rats asses if him, Sonetta, and anybody else who is so-called leader comes out and call me all kind of name. I'm pretty sure I'll be a coon or some bullshit like that. But what you cannot call me is a pedophile.
Ooh.
Can't call me that. You can't say I ever took a little young girl to a hotel, a little 14-year-old to a hotel. You can't say that I got my sperm all over some little young girl's mouth. You can't say that. You can't say that I embezzled funds. You can't say that. So Okay, I'm gonna get off my little anger horse because it's not a high horse. Because damn right I'm higher than that punk. But I'm gonna get out morality wise. But I'm gonna get off this until tomorrow or another day. But if you need more evidence than him taking a young girl to a club closed, him taking first lying to his mother, lying to the young girl's mother, setting it up to make sure you come down into the lobby before the group comes down to the lobby so that you have an excuse to take the little girl outside of the hotel, taking her to a club that was shut down, didn't even feed the poor child, then take the young girl to a whole different hotel, then drug the little girl. If you need more evidence than just that,
Thank you, Todd.
then you need more evidence just that, you got a problem. You already got a problem. If you need more evidence than just that,
Yeah.
you got a problem.
And you may be like him.
And you might have a little pedophilia seed up in there that's being nurtured.
Might have a Pedialyte. Might have a Pedialyte spirit on you.
And then if you definitely still saying the jury is out, when his DNA when his DNA is on her shirt and on her mouth,
Yeah.
and she got drugs in her system, after only
got
the
that
two of them is in
spirit
this hotel, you got a problem.
That, yeah.
You
It's
got
in
a
you too.
problem. This is why Sinetta got to get that. See, I'm not trying to drag other people into it, but since Sinetta had a little something to do, something to say, that's why I drag him into it, because he got a problem. He got a problem. He's a little pedophile himself, more than likely. I don't know, not saying it, but if you support a pedophile, you might be a pedophile. I support black men because I'm a black man. I support black women because I'm a black man. You know, I support cigar lounge owners because I'm a cigar lounge owner. Right? I support a cigar
And a smoker.
Right. I support popcorn because I own popcorn. I'm gonna support what I am. Right? I believe in spirituality, so I support other spirituality. You support what you are. So Sinetta, watch out, bro.
You need to do better.
Them skeletons in your closet might be
All right.
getting ready to come out. Put
Okay.
yourself out on Front Street like that. If you hadn't since, you would just like been absent from the whole thing.
Totally. And make sure that you totally separated yourself. Maybe you don't have to separate yourself from them, but you can separate yourself from his actions and let it be known that you don't condone that in any way.
Yeah. And see,
Let's see. My Blakely says, glad to hear, let's see. Glad to hear your voice on this issue and your stance against Im-Polight, Coach. I have a 14-year-old daughter. I feel you 1,000%.
That's
Speak your special, that's right.
and for y'all who are on here, if you don't have a page and you're not out there being loud, I'm asking you to get out there and be loud. You got to get out there and be loud. We can't have just 3-4 people getting loud. We need
It's not
hundreds,
enough.
thousands of people getting loud and letting these people know that you will not build a platform. You will not be able to live and sustain yourself. You will not be able to rape the black people of their money. You know, y'all, we'll get on here and talk about how the black church is raping the black people of their money, but this fool done raped a whole bunch of black people of their money and put it into his pedophile ring. So we got to get loud. So I'm asking y'all, if y'all got, even if you don't have a YouTube, Facebook page, whatever, make this shit loud. Make it loud. You got to say something, and keep talking, keep talking. Because that's the only way we overcome all the negative imagery. And I don't give two shits about the negative imagery that goes into other people. I care about the negative imagery that goes on into our kids, into our communities. All right. When I moved to Germany, and I had actually, I didn't feel racism when I was in Germany. But when I would go to some other countries, and if their only knowledge of black people was the news that showed black people robbing and stealing and murdering all the damn time, they already had that image of me and every other black person they saw. I really didn't care other than my safety. But I care about how we see ourselves. And that is what we can't do. We cannot allow for that image to be portrayed within our own communities. Because I talk to black people all the time, especially black men, that we have to change. When we're in here, that's one reason why I love the lounge, because we talk about black man issues, like how we used to do in the barbershop. But we have to control the narrative that our kids get about us, because too many of us will sit up there and talk about how all we doing is killing each other and murdering each other. No, the majority of black people, yes. Is the statistic that the majority of black people are killed by another black person? Yeah, but the majority of white people are killed by another white person. I mean, there are 7 point something, almost 8 million white people in America. There's almost 3 million black people in America. Most
3
of the
million?
yeah. I mean, no,
No,
sorry.
no.
Sorry. I said that wrong. There were almost 8 million crimes committed in America
Oh, okay.
by white people, and there were only 3 million crimes committed in America by black people.
But what they do is they use these percentages
And-
so that they can say, well, the majority of this, so they can play with your numbers.
Yeah, but see, I can play with those numbers too.
Yeah.
Because if you equate the white population with the black population or the black population with the white population, they still come out at a higher percentage of raping, murdering, killing each other, and stealing from each other. And we all do it to ourselves.
I think, yeah.
White people do it to themselves. Black people do it to themselves. But almost 3 million crimes happen to black people in America, but there's like 47 million
million.
black people of color. Todd, got that one. People of color
All right.
in America.
So-called black people. How
So
about that?
it's
That's what-
still a much lower number compared to the I think it's like 80 million of them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's still we ain't doing the majority of that
Of
kind
that.
of thing. But we got it. But the narrative is that we are doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to change, because I can drive through a black neighborhood right now, and it's not like you drive through there and the purge is going on.
No, ain't nothing happening. I
So,
can walk through there
we
right
gotta-
now and ain't nobody gonna bother me.
But it's the narrative.
Eyes wide.
Eyes wide.
Asked a question, says, I'm late to this whole thing, but did he admit to doing this horrible thing? Can I
Go
can I
ahead.
say?
You have the floor.
People usually don't admit to things of that nature. But one thing that I will say is that I noticed in his response, never once did he say, I did not do this.
No, he didn't.
Period. And it's one thing when you're saying, okay, look, I got a legal team and I need them to go ahead and they got to speak for me, or, you know, I want to make sure that I don't incriminate myself. But what you can say is I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I did not do that, period. And that is something that he never said. And I remember back in the day, Eddie Long was the same way. He came out there and he had his speech and he said this, that, and the third, but he never said, I didn't do it.
But here is what he did say in his own police statement. Is that he took the little girl to a club, but the
Okay.
club was closed. He took the little girl to
Not back to her mama.
but to a different hotel than the one they checked in.
All right.
He admitted, which is so stupid,
Who would do that?
but he had to.
Yeah.
Because records would show that he checked into the hotel. Video camera would show he
Why?
walked this little girl into a hotel. So he had no choice but to admit to that part.
Yeah.
Right? So he admitted to those things.
Mm-hmm.
And the little girl woke up with him sticking his hands down her throat trying to cough up the drugs. So, and the rape kit shows that his DNA all over the little girl. His sperm
His sperm.
is all over the little girl. All on her mouth and all over on her clothing. So that punk joke
Yeah.
is guilty as hell. So we're gonna end it before
Yeah.
people actually start walking here. 'Cause
Yeah, this is gonna be it is terrible. It's surprising that we haven't had any. So
I
we gotta
know.
hurry up.
Yeah, I'm
So
surprised
this
ain't
is
nobody
good.
walked in here.
Right.
But yeah, so that's that.
But because this is something that needed to be said.
But
Watch
please
this.
get loud. I think my energy is saying don't show up yet. They
Right.
like at home like, oh, I need to leave, but damn, I want to change my shoes.
Yeah.
But we got to get loud, people. We got to show the black community that we're not going to stand for this kind of mess, and that there's more of us who are good, wholesome people taking care of our families and doing the right thing, because we got to change the narrative of what we see, and we got to let these scumbags know that they're not going to be able to build a platform in our community if they have this kind of thing in them. And if you have that kind
That's
of thing
right.
in you and you're working on it, good, keep working on it. Don't ever let that shit surface into a reality. All right, because we all
And stay out of an environment that may tempt you.
yeah. Yes. Stay. If you are a pedophile and you don't want to do it, stay away from kids. Stay away from kids.
Just stay away from it.
Right. I know that fast food is not good for me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I drive by one and I really want to get one, and I just got to go this way. And I went to bed hungry because only fast food was open.
Yeah.
Because you just got to stay away from it. And
Because
I'm
you're
not
wrong. You don't
equating
wanna
the
do
two
that.
exactly
Yeah,
the same.
Absolutely not.
But
Absolutely
what
not.
I'm saying is, whatever urges you have, man, stay away from the bullshit.
If you
Be
truly-
grown
if
enough.
That's truly what you know.
But this is a punk.
Initiative.
This is a punk boy who thinks that he's right to do that, to violate this little girl.
And he is a
And
narcissist.
he's a punk.
That's
A true narcissist. So with
Someone would
that,
do something like that.
we're going to call it an evening. I appreciate you guys. Everybody who subscribed, joined the page, all that kind of stuff. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm not, honestly, like I told Kevin 4 or 5 years ago, I don't want a big ass platform.
I want him to have a big platform.
I don't.
And the reason why is because what your message, it needs to be out there.
And I
would like for it to be out on a bigger platform, because I think that you would greatly influence society in a positive manner.
That is the
And
only
that is
reason.
why
That's the
I
only
would like
reason I
for
will
your
accept
platform
one.
bigger.
That's the only reason I accept one.
I
But
know, baby.
But like I tell my therapist, hey, give me a woman and an island by my damn self,
Mm-hmm.
and let me be able to communicate with my kids, because these humans are batshit crazy.
Yeah. A
But
lot of them are.
since I'm here, I might as well do as much as I possibly can.
Yes.
So
And that is.
if I get a big platform, whatever, I ain't gonna. I'll do it, but I ain't gonna be thrilled about it. So y'all have a great day. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good, good journey, good vibration. You are so crazy. Can you hit that one for me?
Yeah, us for kids.
I know you'll tear this one up.
Okay, hold on.
I'm messing it up.
Y'all be easy now.